So in my island update for this week, I have a storm special for you. If you're hoping to come over here on holiday for the next few weeks on the roll up to the end of the summer season, plus I've got news of events as well taking place next weekend, which may well impact your stay depending where you are on the island. Plus I also have the cruise news and the all-important weather forecast for the week ahead. But you can see I'm over here in the very lovely Porto Poyensa. I thought I'd come over here just to see what the resort is like post-Storm Alice, and also to see how this resort has been affected following the storms that we've had this weekend. If you want to catch that video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you've also hit that notification bell too, because that video is going to be coming out very soon. But anyway, we're going to start this video by talking about the Mallorca storms, about the storms that we've had over here recently, and how the islands are best preparing now for bad weather, which hopefully will put your mind at rest if you're hoping to come over here on holiday. Now, I was contacted by the iPaper, by a journalist from the iPaper a few weeks ago when I was over at Palma Airport, asking me about severe weather in the Mediterranean and how I felt it would impact tourism over here. And I had to say as well that in the 20 years that I've been living here on the island, things haven't really been that different, because always at this time of year we do get storms on the islands, but it does feel sometimes that they have been getting a little bit worse, particularly as now we are rolling up to the 1-year anniversary of the storms, the devastating storms that took place over in the Valencia region. So normally when we have storms over here on the islands, that they will tend to affect one area more than the others, and they do tend to be very localized. So for example, when Storm Alice came over the island, over in Palma, which is where I live on the southwest of the island, we had a little bit of thunder, we had a little bit of lightning, we had some rain on Saturday, but really the main part of the island where the storm did affect was over here in Porto Poyensa, heading on down to Alcudia and down towards Cala. If you're a member of the Mallorca Under the Sun Facebook group, you may well have seen the videos and seen the posts all about that. You would have seen videos about a lot of water over on the Pine Walk. You would have seen people driving through Cala in floodwater. I mean, it did look like scary stuff actually, which is also why I wanted to come up here as well, just to put your mind at rest if you do have a holiday booked, to show you how long the effects of the storms do last when they do hit resorts. But the good news is that Spain now is better prepared for any extreme weather condition than ever before, because on early Saturday evening, anybody, whether you're a resident or a holiday maker over here on the East Coast, you will have received an alert on your mobile phone, on your smartphone. And it was a civil protection alert as well. And it said, along the lines of, it said, maximum caution due to heavy rain, avoid travel and outdoor activities, do not go near streams, rivers or flood prone areas, avoid low areas and basements. And it said too, if water enters, move to higher floors. And this is an official warning from the Civil Protection in the Balearic Islands in Spain about intense rainfall and possible flooding. So I think this is the first time, actually, I can't remember an alert ever being sent out like this, but this is the first time an alert has been sent out. And the good news as well is that it did come out in various languages. I think it was sent out in Spanish, Catalan and English. Might also be worth sending out in German as well. I don't know if any of my German viewers did get this message in German, but basically how it works is that the mobile phone masks directly send out, they broadcast this message, which is then picked up by compatible devices. The bad news is that those who have the old style mobile phones probably didn't get this message, and it's only people with smartphones that did get the message. And I don't think it also was available on any iPads or tablets or anything like that. So at this point, yeah, you're right, bless you. So at this point as well, on the run up to the end of the season, also looking ahead to next year as well, because even though Storm Alice has gone by, I do want you to go and take a look at your mobile phones now. And if you have an iPhone, I want you to go into the settings, scroll down to notifications, and at the bottom of the app list, activate Civil Protection Pre-Alerts. If you have an Android device, enter settings or adjustments, sign up for notifications, click on emergency alerts. If you don't find it, search for advanced adjustments and turn on allow alerts, and that's going to allow pretty much the same thing. So basically, this alert will break through do not disturb and silent mode, which is also really good to know. And I have to say as well, when I actually looked into this, I realised that I didn't have this alert activated on my phone either. And it's something that I would need, because as you know, like today, I'm out and about around the island. I've taken a look at the weather forecast today. I've realised we're not going to have any thunderstorms, hopefully. However, weather conditions can change very quickly. And especially if I'm out and about around the islands, I'd want to know if indeed it would be time to go home, or indeed if it would be time not to travel any further either. So if you're coming over, get that activated and make sure that that you're going to know if we get any really severe weather alerts. I've also said as well in previous videos too that if it is raining, say over here in Puerto Poyensa, the chances are, say over in Palma Nova, it may well be sunny. Because we do have very localised storms, if you drive to another part of the island, you may well find sunshine. These alerts are sent out to stop people from travelling, and I think this weekend it has saved people's lives, which is fantastic as well. And they don't send out these alerts if it wasn't serious as well. If they sent them out every 5 minutes, I don't think anyone would actually listen to them, which is why I'm saying if you're coming over here on holiday, particularly because of the extreme weather conditions that we do have and we have had in the past and we're still getting at the moment, please activate that alert as well, because you may well need it in the future. Also, bear in mind as well that if you do go out and travel after one of these civil protection alerts has been activated, it could well jeopardise your car insurance or your travel insurance. I don't know the specifics of your travel insurance or your car hire insurance, but if something official has been activated, well, and something happens to your car, your claim in the future may well be affected by this, but just bear that in mind if you're over here on holiday. But what else with severe weather, and in fact even just boiling down to a normal rainy day, and I'm going to say this, if we do have a rainy day, and while I'm filming this on the Monday, I'm seeing that we have delays over at Palma Airport once again. Of course, on Saturday when we had the really big storm coming through the islands, and even though Palma Airport wasn't that badly affected, I think I read something like 45 flights were delayed that day, and we did have a couple of flights cancelled as well. I saw a flight to Stansted was cancelled in the evening on EasyJet. So we are seeing now that flight disruptions are very common when the weather is even just rainy as well. So be prepared for that. I did mention it last week. If you are travelling on a rainy day, and while we do have some rainy days this week, if you are flying to or from Palma, make sure you take food to the airport, make sure you have a power bank for your mobile phone, and make sure you take something like a paperback book as well that doesn't depend on any kind of power bank. You've got something to entertain you if you're stuck at the airport. When I got held up on our journey back to Bristol a couple of weeks ago, I think I was at the airport for a full 5.5 hours, and I realised that not everyone is a YouTuber, so they can just be filming around the airport and thinking of things to say and to put out videos about it. If you are sitting on the chair for that amount of time, you may want to have something to do, which is why I do recommend maybe popping into a charity shop here and picking up a paperback book for your journey home. What else do you need to know as well about stormy weather? Look at the sea as well, look at the flags on the beaches. Now, I was surprised when I was filming over in Ilietes in Calvia just the other day actually. I was making my video about the EES, about the entrance-exit system starting over here in Europe. Looking out at sea, and I did see that it was quite choppy, and at the same time I saw a green flag on Ilietes beach. Now, when we do have stormy weather, often the sea does reflect the weather. Be careful if you're going out to sea when it is stormy. Please be careful and just pay really sharp attention to the flags on the beaches. Also, when we really do have heavy rain as well, I do recommend not swimming in the sea for a good 24 hours because the water quality can be compromised. If you're going to the beach and you do go into the sea, maybe don't put your head underwater as well, because I'm going to take a look as well a little bit further along the Pine Walk here. Following the storms that we've had this weekend, we may well see red flags flying in various resorts around the island, and for that reason, like I said, you may not be able to swim in the sea. If that is the case, make full use of your hotel swimming pool. If you don't have a swimming pool to use, you can get day passes to many of the hotels too. Just pop into the reception and ask them all about it. Also, finally, what else about the weather too? Well, I have to say, with the amount of rain that we've had and the very warm conditions too, it is around 25 degrees Celsius today. It does look like we've been plunged into winter over here in Mallorca, but we haven't been. But I am going to say, with the rain and the sun, we are going to get an even worsening problem with mosquitoes. In fact, just yesterday, as you can see here, look, I'm just going to show you my little mosquito bite. Over in the Playa de Palma, started my live stream and they were attacking me on the beach. With the warm conditions with standing water, mosquitoes are going to be breeding. If you're coming over here for the final couple of weeks, bring protection, bring treatments, and also maybe if you're going out in the evenings, wear long trousers and also maybe cover up your arms as well, just to avoid getting bitten too much. Okay, which moves us on onto one of our almost penultimate weekends over here in Mallorca for summer 2025. If you haven't watched my video about Mallorca in October, go ahead and watch it, but I just want to highlight 2 points in that video, and that's about what's happening this weekend. We have, on the 18th of October, we have the Half Triathlon Challenge in Peguera taking place, and that is going to mean several road closures in that resort. It's going to mean as well, it might be a little bit trickier getting to the airport. Plan your journey ahead of time, find out where the buses are going to be leaving from, get a taxi booked, find out where you're going to be picked up from. Have I just been bitten again? Do you know what? I should actually take my own advice about mosquitoes, but I can't wear mosquito repellent every day of the year. Anyway, also not just Peguera, we're looking at Palma as well. Palma next Sunday on the 19th of October. We've got the Tui Palma Marathon taking place, the 21st edition, and that includes a 10-kilometre half marathon, a full marathon, passing through Palma's historical centre and the seafront along the Paseo Maritimo, and normally that heads on in the direction of the Playa de Palma too. These roads are going to be closed to traffic, and this may not be the best day to go into Palma either, to go and sightsee. I would say don't take your hire car into Palma. I've made that mistake in the past as well and just caught up in horrendous traffic around the city, so avoid that like the plague. If you are taking part in any of those challenges, I wish you all the very best as well. Comment on the video as to how you got on, but good luck to you with that. Okay, so moving on to visiting Palma, the cruise news for the week ahead, and it really does feel like it's going to start raining here, so I'm going to crack on with this. We've got a very, very busy week in Palma this week, and it looks like we're going to have in excess of 50,000 cruise ship passengers coming to visit us in the city. The busiest days are going to be on Monday and Saturday. The quietest days, it looks like it's going to be on Tuesday. However, pretty much every day is going to be pretty busy over in Palma Port, and Thursday and Saturday we're going to see in excess of 10,000 cruise ship passengers visiting Palma for the day. It's going to be made worse actually if the weather forecast is going to be a cloudy or a rainy day. It's going to mean that Palma is going to be very, very packed. It's going to mean that some of the main sites around the island are going to be very, very packed. So maybe Valdemosa, Soya, Dea area, they're going to be very busy with cruise ship passengers. So visiting Palma on a rainy day as well, maybe avoid that this week. If possible, alternatively, be prepared for queues at bus stops and queues at taxi ranks too, which leads us onto the weather forecast of the week ahead as I wait for it to pour down here in Portapoyensa. So the first thing I'm going to say is don't always believe the weather forecast. Every time I've been opening my mobile phone and looking at the weather forecast, it's just showed days of rain, but it hasn't been like that. If you go back and watch my live stream from over in the Playa de Palma yesterday evening, you'll have seen how absolutely lovely it was after we'd had actually quite a lot of rain in the morning. So weather conditions can change. Also as well, we were not predicted rain over here in Portapoyensa until later on in the afternoon. Be prepared for all weathers if you are coming over, and make sure you bring a raincoat or bring a brolly, otherwise you're going to have to get one of those plastic mats which you see many holiday makers wearing around the resorts. So Tuesday is looking like we're going to be having quite a lot of rain. It's probably going to arrive in the early hours of the morning, but expect showers for most of the week, and it is going to be brightening up from Wednesday onwards as well. There will be an outside chance as well of showers next weekend, but highs this week, we've got highs of 26 degrees Celsius, we've got lows of 14 degrees Celsius. It's going to feel a little bit cooler in the evenings. So if you're coming out, bring a coat, bring a few jumpers as well, and bring some long trousers too, because the minute the sun does go down, the temperature goes away with it too. Don't forget as well, as I said earlier on in this video, if it's raining, expect delays at the airport too, so make sure sure you're prepared for that too. Okay everyone, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm going to be out and about as much as I possibly can be this week, regardless of the weather. I'm going to try and get out and about this week. In the meantime, I'm going to drop a couple of videos appearing both here and here on YouTube. Watch out for my Porta Poyenza video appearing later on this week. And in the meantime, you can find me on the Facebook page, on the Facebook group, and on my Instagram, also called Mallorca Under the Sun. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye for now.